Hellions, all these Marines, he really could have pushed out right now, and it might have been a GG from me. We go check out the production tab right now. I'm producing a lot of Hydras, a lot of Zerglings, because during that harass I did manage to bank quite a bit of money because I wasn't building units, and he did force me to tech the Hydra. So, now that these troops are out, it would be a little difficult for the Hellions and the Marines and these Banshees, you know, checking out 1-2 kills, 4, 6, just incredibly effective. And now his expansion is up and running, and we're basically playing on even terms. We go over to the income right now, even terms, kind of. He killed a lot of my harvesters, but I'm already back up to 28, so if that harass had not succeeded, I would be in a fantastic position right now. Right there, I just gotta tell him, that was awesome. You know, I really appreciate, you know, just seeing that new play, because it makes you, even though it sucks to get hit by that kind of stuff, it makes you into a better player. Because if I would have had my Overseer, which I could have had if I would have had 2 Queens to each base, which I had the mineral to do, that attack wouldn't have done anything, and I would be at a huge advantage right now. As you can see, I'm caught up in the Harvester race, but I am just down so many minerals right now, it is not even funny. If we take a look at the army, his army is way outspent on mine. He could easily push out with this force, because even though I built some up initially, I've got some Banglings, I've only got a few Hydras. Let's go right back to the production right here. My Spire, I'm trying to get that up and ready, and I figure the least I can do is, if I'm going to be sitting here macroing up for a while just trying to get my economy back up and running, I can be spreading this creep, because if I can have creep reaching all the way out over here, this just gives me such a big advantage to my mobile Zerg army in all the space. Going down from combat shields, just finished conch shells, stim packs, 4 more Hydras, Lings, extractor, more creep. He's got armory, marauders, so this is going to turn into a little bit of a macro game. I do have my overlords, you know, chilling out over by these bases, because I want to know if he's going to try to do one of these expansions. And having these overlords out gives you a nice sense. You feel a lot safer about the potential drop, in this creep down here is just so awesome, because you can see everything. It's just really fantastic. But I'm going to push forward with these Hydras and these Banglings right now, and I'm actually going to run these Banglings up behind his base, because I've got this Overlord over here, and I can see that there's no bunkers, I can see that there's really nothing happening, so I'm hoping that I can maybe, after that attack, go over to the income right here, level the playing field. So 44 to 42, and let's see if these guys can even be effective. They are roly-polies, they do have the centrifugal hooks, which is basically required if you're going to be deploying these, and Bangling's so important versus Terran. It's clearing out the Marines around the Thoris so your mutas don't get chewed up, it's clearing out that MMM ball, and here we go, gonna roll right up in here, right as his army moves up. There's nothing there, and boom! Not a bad kill right there. Let's take a look, see what happens. Wait for it. Come on, update. Managed to kill about 11 harvesters right there, so not a bad pick-me-up. That definitely puts me in a nice little position. We take a look at this army, though. There's a lot of Marauders, a lot of Marines, and I believe that there's going to be a Thor out in the field pretty soon, but my creep is letting me know this. And right now, he's checking the expansions, and we take a look. I just morphed some more Banglings. I've got some Mutas, some Hydras out in the field, and what I'm actually going to do right here is I'm going to split my army, run them around, part in the front, they get roasted, but right here, once the Banglings move past these Hydras, Banglings are just so good at steamrolling right through the Marines. The Banshees cloak, and look what happens right here. 5 cloak Banshees, you know, I have to pull my Mutas away. These Marauders managed to finish off the Hydras, but I've got enough Mutas and some Lings over there to take care of that, but look at my detection just chilling over here, and look at these Banshees just going to town. I think I lose my Spire again. Yep, there goes my Spire, so it's the second time that building, you know, canceled the first time, taken down this time, and look at the drone counts. So that little pick-me-up there, that was kind of cool that I picked that up, but these Mutas just not having the DPS to kill these guys quick enough. 29, 8 kills. I'm going to be down to like 25 Harvesters, and even though this base is almost mined out, I would have loved to have had those to transfer. So, right there, I thought I evened the playing field, and he goes right back, using those Cloak Banshees again. Just imagine the good that 1 or 2 Spore Crawlers, having detection over here with the Queens, could have done to help prevent that. And here comes another really big ball of troops. Now, luckily speaking, I was able to produce some Zerglings, able to produce a few more Hydras, and if I were him, I would be pushing out right now, because he just absolutely killed my economy. I'm essentially running off of 1 base, and there's a lot of Marauders, not too many Marines in there. I'm trying to break down these rocks, and right now, I've got to pull back, I've got to do something, and I'm actually going to rush these guys back here. I'm going to morph in some Banglings over here, and right now I'm just trying to do anything I can. I'm going to sacrifice this Overlord just to try to buy me a few seconds. He's even got a Raven up, He's going for detection. There goes the point defense drone. I'm going to try to pull my banglings back. There we go. Steamroll ahead and just look at that. Even a few banglings get in there, they absolutely toast those Marines. The Hydras are going to come here and going to try to magic box this Thor right here. And as you can see, once you get your mutas spread out, the Thor is not that horribly effective against them. And I do have... Nope, I don't have the attack +1, but there go. The Marauders are just going to get picked apart by the Lings and the mutas. 31 to 45 Harvesters, checking out the units lost. I'm down, but it's not as bad of a discrepancy as it was before, but I know that these rocks, they need to go down. I need to drop them. But at the same time, I'm going to drop these rocks, and I'm actually going to be throwing up my expansion down here because all this pressure that he's putting on me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this. In the same time, just look at that. Look at the power of this Terran going off of, one base, but 2 base for quite a while, just able to reproduce that army so quickly. The barracks with these tech labs, 1 starport, 1 factory. That's all it takes, and this Terran can just continue to push out a pretty menacing army. He has the same idea, using the Raven for detection. He's going to go after his high yield, and let's check out the income tab again. 30 to 48, so I'm definitely behind, although, essentially speaking, we're both running off of 1 base, but the Mules is bringing him so much above. Our gas input, for the Zerg at least, is pretty the same. Like, you look at him, how much unspent gas he has, how many unspent mineral, and the amount of minerals versus me. Wow, I'm actually sitting on a lot of gas, but no minerals, because he killed all my beautiful little workers. Got nothing left as far as that goes. I did get the range upgrade for my Hydras, and I'm throwing down, sniping that Spire is huge. It has like a 2-minute build time. He sniped out my creep tumors. This is just... I'm not feeling very good about this right now. And there goes a detection tower, a missile turret, missile turrets, and he's probably going to be moving. Yep, there goes a command center, going to fly that over, and he's probably going to turn that into a planetary fortress. I don't want to call it the I win, although as funny as I think it is to call a planetary fortress the I win, it's not the end of the world. Some banglings and some ultras can go a long way against it, but as you can see, I do not have net infestation pit down. I'm a long way away from ultras. I don't even have an evo chamber, so if I were to get ultras out in a timely manner, it's not like they would even really be that good. But you can see that I've got my expansion building over here. He's flying his over, he's getting his gas up and running, and this is going to be a key deciding factor in this battle, is whether or not I let him hold this high yield or not. And right here, he's just going through, he's killing all my creep tumors. Those Ravens just... Mobile detection. I'm glad he never got Seeker Missile because they're so powerful. The point defense drones, really good units as far as they go. And I caught him over here, and actually, as I'm running my troops up over here, you can see the planetary fortress is just finishing. I've got to get over there quick, try to take it out, and right here. So mutas steamroll right over that right there, but I'm not going to get there in time. It's going to be a planetary fortress, and at this point, I basically got to pull back. He can do a mass SCV repair, and I can sit there and I can lose my entire army right there. It's up and running, and look, there's already a pile of Marines, Thors, more Marines coming over here, stimming just in case I come back in. I've got a little bit of an army, but what does that really matter? If we look at the Harvesters, 51 to 29, and he's on the gold. He's got mules coming down. There's no way unless I get both of my expansions up and running and pull off some miraculous work, which, just a side note, awesome little creep spread coming around here. If I had more minerals, I should probably just be throwing up another expansion and droning hard, which I will be if you take a look at the production. I'm going to be building some drones. I am throwing down an infestation pit because when I saw that planetary fortress, realized that I wasn't able to stop it, I knew that the only thing that's going to be able to win me this game right now is going to be ultras, and I really should, once I get this infestation pit, I really should be going for neural parasite as well, because you can neural parasite these Thors, and that just makes a huge difference. You take control of 1 or 2 Thors, turn these guys against the Terrans, they start one-shotting Marines, they start taking out medevacs. It's a huge pickup that you can do, and it just puts the Terran in like the what the hell mode, because they're not really expecting it. It's a really underplayed strategy as far as taking over those Thors, but for Zerg players, it's a great way to take care of it. As you can see right here, I'm producing Mutas, Hydras, Zerglings. I'm really not looking too good for my army composition to deal with this. Banglings steamroll right through these Marines. Lings do fairly decent against the Marauders, and unless I'm really good with my Muta Micro, these Thors are just going to rip them apart. They'll absolutely destroy them. As you can see, I'm trying to get this base up and running over here, and for me, gas isn't a problem. I've got plenty of gas. I've actually pulled one of my drones off the gas over there, but just no room for minerals. I had to leave. could have resaturated this. That probably would have helped me a lot in this game. I left probably 2,000 minerals sitting there, and in resaturating that, I could have done a better transfer over here. I will be throwing up my high yield over here just because I know I've got to get it up. But looking at that ball right there, looking at this right here, it's not looking too good for me. I did send a Zergling over here just to see what's going on. This base basically mined out, and you can see how quickly he's just picking this high yield apart. And look at that, sitting in almost 1,500 mineral, over 2,000 gas, building the starports. At this point, you've basically got it. The factories, the buildings, the engineering bay, the upgrades, they're all going down. And the Terran military might is in full swing versus the Zerg over here is just trying to pick up the game, trying to get it going. There goes the scan. I didn't even get a chance to cancel that. And right here, Banglings, Zerglings, you know, that's just, when you look at this right here, I was able to really, really decimate that army. My mutas go down, which is just a sign that these deploying Thors, you may want to transition away from those mutas, but Hydras do pretty well against Thors. That army goes down, but what does it really matter at that point? He's just producing so many units. There's a battle cruiser out on the field, there's 2 Thors, more Marines, production tab, I've got an extractor going, more Marauders, more Marines, 4 battleships, 1 Thor. This is just not the position I want to be in, not with this measly of a force. I do not have Neural Parasite, I don't even think I got to... Yep, I'm just researching it right now, but my Infestor doesn't have the energy, it's going to get smoked, and there goes my army. I've literally got nothing standing in between me, 14 Zerglings, and 14 Zerglings might be enough to deal with this right here, aside from the medevac, which is just godlike, but he's going to be getting a GG out of me. This one I'm going to tell you guys what happens. This is a little bit before the end, and my queen goes down, she tried, and I've got to congratulate him. This is just such an awesome play. Seeing the battle cruiser out at the end, any sign of hope that I had just went downhill, and I think all my Zergs started practicing ritualistic Zerg suicide at that point. I don't know how a Zerg would go about doing that, maybe mutating in... Everything mutated into Banglings and just blew itself up. That actually would be cool if you could just do, you know, an all-in Bangling mutate and just try to charge the base and see what you can do. But, you know, to Fides, awesome play. I gotta congratulate you. This was just so cool. And this is going to be the first loss that I put up on my channel. I do intend to bring in more losses. And the reason why I chose this one out of all the other games that I lose, it's not like I win all my games. I actually lose about 40-45% of them. But looking at this, it was just such a good play. 2 great harasses, took out so many of my workers, you know, great transition. As you can see, he didn't build up too many buildings. He didn't build more than he could fund until he had all that going in, all that extra money where he's like, I gotta throw these down, pulling out the battle cruisers. It was just, you know, it was a drawn-out game after I lost all those drones. I stood a chance at holding on, but I didn't saturate quick enough. I didn't get my economy back up and running. And even though I could steamroll over that army, just a few big units, and that's all it took. So thank you very much for watching. This is Malikicowtipper signing out.